my name is Sophia Boisvert, and I'm an eco-rep with the Office of Sustainability. Recently, I've been trying to make lifestyle changes that can make my daily life a little bit more sustainable in the long run. One of the favorite things that I've been implementing is eco-minimalism. Now, when people hear minimalism, they can be intimidated by the idea, associating it with living with the bare essentials, not buying anything, or living in a van and traveling the world. But minimalism is simply about being intentional with your possessions. It's about ridding yourself of excess and focusing on what's really important. Minimalism is defined by the intentionality of it. Each item is there because it's essential to your life, and you've chosen to let it take space in your home and in your life. And this idea goes hand in hand with sustainable consumption. American culture is very material-driven, and material goods are often conflated with status and happiness. We've constantly been bombarded with ads since childhood, and this leaves a mark on our psychology. But this issue isn't just confined to the US. In 2017, worldwide material consumption reached 92.1 billion tons. That's up from 87 billion in 2015, with the extraction rate accelerating. Simply put, we buy a lot of stuff, and all these products use resources, and that has a carbon cost. The UN SDG 12 tackles responsible consumption and production. Now, minimalism is a great way to become a more sustainable consumer. I'm not expecting you to go out, completely get rid of all of your material possessions, and stop buying things completely. But if you're interested in decluttering a little bit, learning a little bit more about your possessions, and how to consume more sustainably, here are a few tips that I have found to become more sustainably eco-minimalist. Firstly, when you're going through your things and deciding what to get rid of, remember that the life cycle of your products don't end once it gets to the trash. It goes on in the world. A great video to watch to learn more about the life cycle of products is The Story of Stuff. So instead of throwing things away, consider donating them, upcycling them, fixing them, or even selling them to others. There are so many great thrift stores nowadays for clothes and household items. And if you're not comfortable giving something away for free, Facebook Marketplace is a great place to sell those higher-end items. Now, in the actual decluttering process, I go through and I remove anything I haven't used in a year. Most of us has heard this before, and while it seems relatively simple, the execution can be really difficult. If you're hesitating throwing something away, just ask what that product is adding to your life. Is it providing a benefit to your happiness, or is it just taking up space? And it's okay to get rid of gifts that we've gotten that we don't need. We feel such guilt about giving away gifts that we've gotten, and it's irrational. The gifts that we get are more heavily weighted in our minds than the gifts that we give. I always ask, does the gift giver really care about the gift they gave you? And when was the last time that you thought about a gift that you gave someone? I don't dwell on gifts that I've given people, and if I had a gift that I'd given someone that was just taking up space in their life, I'd be okay with them giving it to somebody else. You also have to get rid of those just-in-case possessions. It's okay to let them go. You haven't needed them thus far, and you probably won't need it in the future. Now, this doesn't apply to those emergency supplies or things of that nature. The next tip I have is about a cooling off period. Buyer's remorse is something that we've all experienced. We've all bought something that we didn't need and then regretted it the next day. And that's part of the problem. To prevent that, and to fight that instinct to buy something on site, I like to give myself a consideration period. If I see something that I want to buy, I add it to a list. Then, in a week, if I still want to go buy that item, I go back and I buy it. This cooling off period has stopped me from buying so many things that I don't need. This way, when you purchase new things, you purchase them with more intention, and you feel better when you do choose to bring something new into your life. I like to implement the 1 in, 2 out rule. Oftentimes we go through these cycles of decluttering only to have the clutter build back up as we bring more and more things into the house. So to combat this, I've implemented the 1 in, 2 out rule. If you bring in a new shirt, you have to donate 2 old ones. This way, the clutter stays down and you think a lot more carefully about what you're purchasing. Is buying this worth giving up 2 other items? To keep yourself honest with this rule, it can be helpful to remove the storage of the items so that you don't have the room to keep more things. If your goal is to have only, say, 6 t-shirts, then only have 6 hangers in your closet. That way you can't physically keep 7 without creating a visible clutter. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you're interested in learning more about minimalism, there are so many great people online who post about tips and tricks to live more sustainably and more minimally. I've linked some of my favorites in the description below, and have a happy Earth Day, everyone.